In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play Spicy Peppers. Spicy Peppers is a light card game with a little bit of strategy, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Alright, and let's pause the game right here. Okay, so Spicy Peppers is played with a special deck of cards, and each card represents a spicy pepper, and each card has a number written on it, which is how many points that pepper is worth. So in the starting deck, there are 33 cards. They are numbered from 3 to 35. So there's one card with a 3 on it, one card with a 4 on it, and so on all the way up to 35. You take those 33 cards, you randomly remove 9 of them, and so the game starts with 24 cards. So that's the 23 over here, plus the one that was just flipped over. In Spicy Peppers, you are trying to be the player with the lowest score. So that's how you win. When the game ends, whoever has the lowest score wins the game. Every round, the top card from the deck of peppers will be flipped over, like it just was, and all of us are bidding on this pepper. Basically, we're bidding on who has to eat it. And in your own hand of cards, you have some don't eat cards, and you have one eat card. And every turn, you will be playing one of these cards. Now, spicy peppers are worth points, so this pepper is worth 20 points. If you were to eat this pepper and it goes into your hand, your score will go up by 20. Now remember, we're trying to end up with the lowest score, so we don't want our score to go up. We want our score to stay below the score of all the other players. So eating peppers is bad, right? Every pepper you eat will increase your score. However, you only start with 11 don't eat cards. So on your turn, all of us are going to play one of our cards. And if we keep playing don't eat cards, eventually we will run out and someone will have to eat the pepper, meaning they will take the pepper into their hand and their score will go up. So let's talk about how this bidding works. All of us play a card at the same time. And even though we're all playing at the same time, our cards are processed one by one. So for example here, this player is marked first, and then I am second, and then this person is third, and then this person is fourth, and this person is fifth, right? So when we all play our cards, this player's card will be processed first. So if they chose not to eat, then they don't eat the pepper. Then my card is processed. If I chose not to eat, then I don't eat the pepper, and so on, until we reach someone who actually ate the pepper. So the first person we reach in the turn order who ate the pepper has to take that pepper into their hand, and they get their eat card back, okay? Now, let's talk about these don't eat cards. Don't eat cards are worth -1 points, which is good for your score, because remember, you're trying to get the lowest score. So that's the reason all of us start with a score of -11, because we have 11 don't eat cards. Every time you use a don't eat card, essentially you're spending it, your score will go up because you're reducing the number of don't eat cards in your hand, and they're worth negative points. If you eat a pepper, you not only take the pepper, which increases your score, but you also take all the don't eat cards that players have played on this card before, which is good for your score, right? So even though this pepper is worth 20, if all 5 of us play don't eat, meaning no one has eaten the pepper yet, and then again all 5 of us play don't eat, again no one has eaten the pepper, and then suddenly someone plays an eat card and they eat it, they will get the 20, but they will also get, at least 10 don't eat cards, which offsets the score. So let's show a couple of rounds of this, because otherwise it's a little bit abstract, okay? So on your turn, all you're doing is deciding whether to eat this pepper or not eat this pepper. So I'm not going to eat it. And this player ate the card. This player ate the pepper. So all of our don't eat cards go here, and then this person ate it. So let's just explain what happened there. The next card will get flipped over. We're now bidding on that pepper. Let me pause here. So what happened just now? There were 5 players. All of us played a card. 4 of us played a don't eat card, and the 5th player played eat. So if you look in their hand, they got their eat card back. They got the 20, which is now in their hand. But the 4 people who played a don't eat, those don't eat cards ended up with that player as well. That player took them when they won the bid for this pepper. That's why instead of 11, which is how many don't eat cards they started with, they now have 15. right? Which offsets their score, which is good for them. They didn't have to take the full brunt of the 20 points. So that is how the game works. At the start of every round, a new card will be flipped over from the top of the deck, and we keep playing don't eat or eat cards until someone eats the pepper. Then they take the card and all the don't eat cards that were played, and then the next card is flipped over and you bid on that, and then someone eats it, and then the next card is flipped over and you bid on that and someone eats it, and so on and so forth until this deck runs out, and whichever player has the lowest score at the end of all of that wins the game. Now, let's talk about one quirk of the scoring. I said that if you eat a pepper, right, if it goes into your hand, it's worth that many points, so you take the full brunt of those points. However, runs of consecutive peppers only count for the smallest number of points in that run. So what I mean by that is, let's imagine that, right, bot 3 took the 20. They ate the 20, they have the 20 in their hand. Suppose the 21 gets flipped over, and bot 3 eats that pepper too. So now they have the 20 and the 21. Because 20 and 21 are consecutive, bot 3 does not take an additional 21 points. They only take points for the lowest card in the run of consecutive numbers. So if bot 3 had the 20 and the 21 and the 22 and the 23, they would still only take 20 points for the lowest card in that run, which is the 20. That's important because even though you might take a big card, you might eat a big pepper, if you can also eat the cards that are adjacent to it in numerical order, you can actually reduce your score, or at least you don't have to take the full brunt of the points for every single pepper. Okay, I'm going to play through a couple more rounds so you can see how this works. So how about I try to eat this 27, and remember, the turn order matters. This player's card will be processed first. So if I eat it, but someone eats it before me, they get to eat it, right? Okay, I ate it, so now I have the 27. And I also took a couple of don't eat cards played by other players. Okay, next card is a 5, low value. I'll eat this one too. And so on and so forth. Okay, so everyone's score will fluctuate over time. And where the strategy comes in is that you can keep playing don't eat, but eventually you will have to eat something, and you may get stuck eating a pepper with a very high number on it, as opposed to strategically choosing to eat something earlier and then trying to build a set of cards around that, right? Because eventually all of us will run out of don't eat cards unless we eat something and get those don't eat cards back. For example, in this particular situation, there's a strategic choice for you to make here. I could eat this 7, right? I have a 5, and so if there's a 6 in this deck and I eat it, then I would have 5, 6, 7, which means I would only take 5 points for that entire run, right? If I take the 7, I'm going to get an additional 7 points, but if I get the 6 as well, then my score goes down. So it's a very simple game. You're only doing one of two things every single turn, but which cards you choose to go after and which runs of cards you try to go for is what's fun about the game. It's a very quick game, maybe 15 minutes. You can play it with a lot of players, and it's thinky in a way that's not very stressful. So definitely one game I'd recommend. Be sure to check it out and hope you like it. Thanks so much.